Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. I am ready to tackle a really big project, this fantastic folio, which was made for me, a great gift from Mary Giuliano. And I am going to show you this folio, and then we're going to try to create one this same style. So when I first got this, I mean, you'll see, I was like, what is going on here? I wouldn't have the first clue how you created this. So she made me a template, and I am going to give it a whirl, and I'm going to try to create one the same using the template, and I want to use my botanical theme. So let's open this up, and I want to show you so that you see once it's decorated and you have all your pages covered and flips and flops and whatnot. This part is the folio that she glued down into the cover here. So this part in the middle is what we're going to be working on first. Before I show you Mary's book, because Mary is what I call a veteran crafter, so the stuff that she does is just phenomenal. So it's going to be very confusing looking at it once it's decorated. So I want to first show you the template that she used. And there's a lot of different flip ups and envelopes, things that she added to this, but this is the base. So we've got our papers here. This is 4 different papers that are cut down to size, which we will talk about. But you've got 2 flip outs here, and these are just 2 pages that are folded in half. So there's 1, and there's 2. So that's all here. And then over here, we have another one on this side, a single one. Then we have a full page, and then we have another one of those flappies, folded in half flaps. And then we're at the bottom. And I just put a pocket there. So then we're going to back and forth to close it up. All right, so again, on the left side, we have 2 folded in half flaps. There's 1 and 2. On this side, we've got 1 folded in half flap. Then we have a full page, and then we have another folded in half flap. So now that you've seen the base of it, I'm going to show you Mary's book, and then we're going to kind of revisit this again, because I'm going to try to make this as easy as I can to follow. So hopefully I do a good job at it. But I think seeing this is kind of important before looking at the book, and then we can kind of revisit each one just to make sure that we got it down. It has a lot going on. So I am going to focus on the construction of this. And then once we get the construction of our book done, we can kind of come back and revisit and do more of a detailed flip through. I'm not going to go through every single thing that she did here because it's a lot. So if we're just going to look at that basic construction for now, on the left side, we have that folded in half flap, and then another folded in half flap. And then on this side, we have the folded in half flap, but she has this as a pocket, and this is clipped on. So we've got our double fold out flap, fold out flap, and then we have a single page, and fold out flap. Now, I'm going to show just this single page because she did a lot of add-ons to this. So first of all, this is just a little envelope that was added on, super cute. And then this was tied together. I just untied it to take a look at it right now. So this would open up, and then we've got the fabric that flips up on top of an envelope. And it does open up, and it just has the image in it here. So we've got this as an add-on, and then we have this as an add-on. So that's 2 envelopes on the front. And we're going to come over here, and it folds out again this way. So on this one paper, she added this on here. So that's a lot added on to the one sheet. We've got 1, we've got flip up here 2, and then we've got flip out here 3. So 1 page there. This page is a little bit easier. Again, I undid all these so I could open them up easier. But we have the tie here, and this just opens up. We've got some tags in there. And that is our other full sheet. And we just have these little books. And this is also pocket. And then we have our last folded in half flap. And then for the base, she has another flip up here and some cute little pockets. So to fold it back, put it back, we've got our fold out, our single page with lots of stuff. And then we have our 2 flaps and our single flap. There's so much in here. When I first got this, I kept looking through it, and every time I felt like I was missing things. So it's just a lot. It's so well constructed, and I am going to give this a whirl. And so come along with me. I'll try to make this as easy to follow as I possibly can. Just going to start with the construction of making this. Altogether, you're going to need 4 sheets, 8.5 by 11. 2 of those sheets, you're going to cut down to 5 3/4. That's how tall it is, by 9 3/4. And then you're going to score it at 4.5, 5.5, 7 3/4. And then 2 of the sheets, you're going to cut to, again, 5 3/4 and 9.5. And then you're going to score those 2 sheets at 4.5, 5, and 7 1/4. Again, here are the measurements if you want to take a screenshot of this. Okay, so I have my 4 pieces of cardstock, craft cardstock here. So the first 2, we are going to cut to, let's see, 9 3/4, and I'm doing 2 at a time here. 9 3/4 and 5 3/4. All right, so we've got those 2. Now the other 2, we're doing 9.5. And 5 3/4. Okay, so I have our first 2 sheets here. First sheet, we've got 4.5, 5.5, 7 3/4. So 4.5, 5.5, 7 3/4. Okay, for the other two, we're going to score at 4 1/2, 5, and 7 1/4. So we've got 4 1/2, 5, and 7 1/4. Now I'm going to do my folds and then I'm going to ink everything up. That will make it easier for you to see, and I just like to ink up my edges anyway, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so we have our papers, and I'm going to just go ahead and fold the flappy guys. So we basically have the wide spine and the skinny spine. And just to make this easier to look at, I'm going to clip the little flippy guys down. Then we won't have it flopping around quite as much, and it might be easier to see and follow along here. So we're starting with the wider spine, and we're going to take one of the skinnier ones. I've got one of these guys, and we're just going to attach it, and we're going to put it so that the spine goes right up to the edge here, to the top. So it's going to look like this. We're going to attach it here along the spine, right along here. So I'm going to put some glue here. And we're going to put this, glue this down right up to the edge here. So I'm going to kind of hold this so that I know these are flush. Now I'm just going to undo one of these. I'm going to just go ahead and clip all these together. So the double flaps that we have here, I'm just going to clip them together. So that's our one side. So now, I'm going to take our other big spine, and this page is going to go down on top of this one. Like, I think what I'm going to do is just glue here and leave this open so that I can make this a pocket or something. And I think I'll actually use double-sided tape. This is going to go flush up against this one, so I'm going to hold this at our angle to make sure I get it. So there we go. Left this open here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just poke a hole here. Okay. So now the last thing that we have to do is add, remember we have the single flap that's going to go here. I'm just going to put the glue here. And then this is going to go right at this fold. Make sure we can fold it and everything. And then I'll go ahead and press this down. So we have our construction done here. So we have our single page, and then our folds. So this is it, guys. This is the basic construction for the first part. So now that we have this done, I'm going to go through one more time Mary's journal, and so that we can start getting ideas for add-ons that we want to do, and also you can gather the papers that you want to use, and then we'll meet back up for part 2. So just again, before we look at Mary's, the basic bones of it, we have our folded flip, I should say folded flap, folded flap, folded flap, full page, folded flap. And we've got our 2 flaps here, 1 and 2. So to see what she did on the flaps here. So we've got a little pocket here. And then there's a pocket here with a long skinny pocket. And then here, there's 2 little pockets, one here and one here. So that's one of them. On the second one here, so the inside we have a journaling spot. Got this little tuck. Got 2 pockets here. And then here, I definitely love this idea. It's just a part of envelope here with this tag inside. I really like that idea. And I have a bunch of envelopes just happen to be here on my desk. Then you could also use under this, you could use this as a little journal spot. So I'm sure we'll work on these flaps first because that will be a kind of easier part to do. Then on this side for her flap, she actually, if you see underneath here, it doesn't flip out. She glued it, so it's a pocket. And then this is a little notebook that is clipped on top of it. So those are our 2 flaps. So if you want to start thinking about the papers that you want to use and kind of gather some things, maybe have some extra envelopes and things handy. And we'll work on these first, our 2 little flaps. So for part 2, guys, I just wanted to show you the papers that I will be using. And these are from House Whimsy. All the links are going to be in my video description. I also have links for free digitals from her, so lots of papers to work with, and those are also in the video description. And lastly, I just want to say again, thank you to Mary Giuliano for this amazing gift and also the template to teach me how to make one myself. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys for part 2.